listening to Sam and Carl on PSH Radio. Voices of the Paranormal.
Good evening, everybody. This is Sam here of PSH Radio. You are obviously listening to our first show back on air. This evening I am joined by Carl Hutchinson.
Hi Sam, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very, very good. A few technical gremlins got into the system. Do apologise that for anybody that was eager listening at 9 o'clock. But we seem to have got it sorted now. Yeah, we've been off there a little while. We wanted to come back at the right time. We've got the plan ahead. Hope everybody likes the new intro, etc. Obviously, this is a new studio that we're using, so do apologise for a few technical hitches. But we are joined today by a very good friend of ours. Probably the hardest working person in the paranormal I know. And that is the lovely MJ Dickson. Good evening, MJ.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. A few technical problems, so I do apologise for that.
Yeah, new studio gremlins.
Exactly. Exactly. All the fun and games of new equipment.
Of course.
So, how are you holding up in current times in the world?
Day 39 of lockdown. The family are still alive and not buried under the back patio just yet.
Okay.
I shouldn't actually say that because if anything did happen,
your patio would be the first place everybody's going to be looking.
No, you know what? It's been tough. It's been really tough because I'm so used to doing events and being out there and investigating. And this has actually given me a chance to focus on projects that I've been wanting to finish for like 6 years. So, I'm stuck in the house and stuck with the projects, and no better time like the present, hey?
Absolutely. And no matter whether it's lockdown or non-lockdown, you work so hard behind the scenes, day in, day out. Some of the hours that I've seen you on Facebook, silly o'clock in the UK, getting the work done, working extremely hard behind the scenes. And I know one of the first things that we want to talk about this evening is something that you have been working on with the long hours, and that's the Sage Tribe clothing line.
Yeah, I started doing clothing, a few designs, like 5 years ago, and I just never had the time to do the proper clothing line because I was always so busy. And so one of the things that the Sage Tribe and a lot of people that have come to my events and the Sage Paracon and that have always asked me for is more of the clothing. And I finally sat down, taught myself how to do a few things, and I now have about 50 designs that I'm launching on Monday. Yay!
So that's this Monday. You're going to be launching around about 50 lines.
Yeah.
And I believe it's T-shirts, hoodies, phone cases, you name it, anything that you want in the paranormal of merchandise that everybody's come to love about Sage.
And all the designs are sort of geared around paranormal investigating, cryptids, funny puns, anything sort of spiritual, and there's some really fun designs. So, I have a whole zombie food range.
Cool.
It's going to be quite funny and fun. But so I decided to do several different options for people. And this is just, while we're all stuck indoors and we can't go out and investigate, and keeping along the lines of paranormal. So you'll be able to get all of your merchandise from Monday, and that'll be on the Sage Tribe shop Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the links and everything up there on Monday when we launch. But over this weekend, you'll start seeing some of the adverts and things on the page for the designs, and on the Sage Paranormal page, and obviously the my personal page, MJ Dickson. you'll be seeing all of those designs coming up on there, all the adverts and things, and waiting for merchandise. And then hopefully in another week, we'll be launching the final fully made Witchworks product line. So been really, really busy over the last few weeks designing and making products and, you know, working through the nights, because having everybody at home, you obviously have the TV going and everybody's getting bored, so they want to know what you're doing. And anyone that's tried working at home, you know, with their spouse or significant other that's bored. I mean, you know, Duncan, my husband. It's almost impossible to get any work done when he's around.
I can imagine there's a lot of, what you doing, MJ?
Oh yes. You know, the other day I went and I hid away in the office, and he walked into the office about 3 times in a row and just tapped me on the shoulder, staring at me. I was like, "Are you bored, by any chance?" So I've actually been working through the night whilst everyone else is sound asleep, just to get some peace and quiet in the house. I've been designing until 4 or 5 o'clock every morning, working throughout day and night. During the day, trying to get as much done as I can, which is near impossible. But it's almost done. It's launching next week. I'm really excited.
One of the things when we were chatting a little bit off air about obviously the clothing line, which I think is great about it. Obviously, there's going to be new designs, etc. But you can also get your merch from the Sage Paracon previously. So Sage 1, the T-shirts. If you never got a chance to get a T-shirt, that's also going to be all on there as well.
Yeah, I've had to. Obviously, you know, it took me some time to change printers and things, because the people that I was using, sort of this little mom and pop business that I was using to do all of our printing and everything for the shirts and merchandise, they actually closed down, which is really, really sad. And so I was struggling to find somebody else to do it that could help me handle the amount of designs and that sort of thing, the amount of merchandise and that I wanted to do in this line. So it took a bit of time. And then when I did find somebody, the wonderful coronavirus happened and they were no longer trading. So it has been an absolute nightmare to get it done. But it's finally there. I'm really happy with everything. Some of the designs are a bit tongue-in-cheek. But yeah, I'm looking forward to launching it and seeing what everybody thinks. And like I say, any of the shirts and things from Sage Paracon 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can get any of those T-shirts. You can get, you know, funny cryptid things and all sorts as well. So
no, I'm really looking forward to that, because I know how your mind works slightly. So I'm looking forward to some of the pun type, like you say, the pun type of shirts and the zombie food range. Yeah. I hope you're not stepping on Trunk Meat Carl's toes a bit, because that bloke's a little bit of a nightmare. Yeah, he's a bit of a nightmare, that bloke. But yeah, the witchy work products, this area of what you do really fascinates me, because it's like alchemy to me. It's like how you come up with the ideas. Because when I think last time I visited, you were showing me some of your ingredient boxes, and I'm not talking small, but we're talking very, very big boxes and several of them. Weird and wonderful smells and textures and all.
Loads of herbs. I have herbs for England. It took me a really long time to study everything and to make sure that I knew exactly what I was doing with all the different herbs and essential oils and things, because there are certain things that you can't use, say, for instance, if you're pregnant, or if, you know, you have certain allergies and certain skin sensitivities and that sort of stuff. So it was a really long process learning all about it, and a lot of trial and error, a lot of personal testings. I've made my own products for the last 3 years and trying to get all the recipes right. And so far, everything, I mean, I've just packaged up all the testing products that are going out, and obviously I asked you for your address today to send
I'm going to be enjoying some soap in the bath, which I'm looking forward to, various different styles and smells and all sorts, which is going to be which is going to be very novelty for me.
And there's, all sorts of things. There's from the bath salts and that sort of stuff, just some nice pamper products, to herbal salves, things for muscle aches, things for headaches, things for skin irritations, eczema, all sorts of stuff. And it's all herbal products. It's all handmade. There's a range of spell candles. There's a range of scented candles. There's quite a few. Anything from lip balm to bath soaks to all sorts. Yeah, so I'm quite excited.
Yeah.
That's going to be out and ready by the end of next week. So everyone will be able to place their orders. At the moment, I'm just trying to get photographs of everything so we can get the adverts and that up for it on the Sage Tribe shop page. But yeah, loads of good things happening. I've had to do all the different lines and things, stuff that I can do at home, because obviously when you run events and you're not allowed to do them, I've had to postpone a couple of events to later in the year. So I've just been trying to figure out how to keep things paranormal and witchy and weird and still bring the Sage Tribe everything that they've been asking for.
Yeah, but this is the amazing thing about you, MJ, is that whole thing that we've just been talking about, the 50 lines of clothing, the witchwork products, that would probably take a normal human being just to concentrate on that a little while. But no, this is the incredible thing is, so you've been doing that.
Yes.
You've obviously, which we'll come on to talk about Sage Paracon 5, but
yes.
Then you had this amazing idea. I tell you what, I've got a load of people in America. Let's take Sage Paracon to America.
Well, yeah, because people were messaging me and saying that, they really want to come over to the UK for Sage Paracon, but for them, to fly all the way over here, it's not only the time off work, you got to take at least a week off, it's, the flights and the spending money and etc., etc. So I thought, well, if they can't come to Sage Paracon, then I will take Sage Paracon to them.
Yeah.
So I launched Sage Paracon Virginia, and that's going to be held at Belgrove Plantation in King George, Virginia. And I'm really excited. It's the 2nd to the 4th of October. And instead of having loads of speakers, we actually only have, it's myself, Greg Lawson, Richard Estep, Karen A. Dullman, and Jay Marie, who's a psychic medium. And we're going to be focusing more on it being very interactive. So a lot more workshops, not just the talks. It's all fair and well that we stand up there and we do a lecture and we stand there talking to you. This is more interactive, so more Q&A sessions, more workshops, more hands-on paranormal investigating. And the really cool thing about this is that myself and Richard Estep have decided that the entire weekend is going to be one massive experiment with loads of different little experiments in between. And this is all going to be put into a book. So everybody who gets their ticket and takes part, they're all going to be helping us with each of these experiments for the book. It's a Sage experiment. 1 3-day long investigating experiment in one of the most haunted locations I've been in America. So really, I was going to
say, you were speaking at their Paracon last year.
Yes.
And you were doing live Facebook Lives during the day, and I was watching, because I was in Vegas, and I was watching you doing these lives. And even over Facebook Live, when you were playing back some of the EVPs, crystal.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was so funny. We were investigating in the outside summer kitchen at one point, and we had several different groups, so we were rotating around, different areas with different speakers and that sort of thing. And my second group of the night, it was really funny to me because I was like, oh, the energy in here is so great. We've been getting such great responses and EVPs, and the investigation's going so well, and good activity on the REM pod and that sort of thing. And I was like, I know. Let's put this recorder on the other side of the room and see if they want to say anything. Let's just give them a chance. And I put the recorder on the other side of the room, left it for a couple of minutes, waited to go and pick it up, and the very first crystal clear Class A EVP was "Get Out." And I was like, oh, so much more great energy. And then about 3 seconds later, you hear, "We all hate you." And then I realized that the second group was majority men. And every time we had men in that area, everything would just kick off, like, "Get out, we hate you, go away." Then anytime there were ladies, it was a completely different scenario. I mean, we had, at one point, we asked all the men to leave and stand outside. But you're right, during the day, crystal clear evening, all over the property. We actually had some that tied in with some of the history. It's just an incredible location. It's President James Madison, the fourth president of USA. It's his birthplace. And Michelle and Brett and Tyler and them that are at Belgrove are just the loveliest people as well. It's a wonderful place.
So that's the 2nd, the 3rd and the 4th of October. Tickets are still available.
Yes, they are.
So where do they need to go to...
For tickets for the Sage Paracon USA, they can visit the Belgrove Plantation website, which is belgroveplantation.com. And if you just click on the paranormal tab at the top of the page, it'll take you through all of their paranormal events, but you will find the Sage Paracon tickets there. It is a very small weekend. I believe there are only about 30 tickets left.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a VIP weekend. Your ticket is for all 3 days. You have all of the workshops, all of the lectures, all the Q&A sessions, a VIP meet and greet party with some drinks and snacks, and then, obviously, investigating the paranormal.
And the chance to be part of this big experiment that you and Richard are doing, which will then follow into a book. So it's going to be an amazing experience for anybody that attends. I'm so jealous I can't come out to that one, but I've got other things on. So yeah, that's great. But tying into Belgrove, something that you're doing like next week with Belgrove, you're doing something called a tea time talk at Belgrove. Via Zoom chat? So, with the current circumstances and things, we've been trying to find ways to get more interest in Belgrove. It's a beautiful historic location, and obviously any historic location has really high running costs and that sort of thing. So, when you think that it is a bed and breakfast, we need to try and do other things to draw more people. And one of the things that Belgrove are offering is a Zoom tea time talk. So tickets are only $5. And if you go onto the belgroveplantation.com website and you click on tea and you go further down the page, it'll give you all the details. But there are some amazing guests. I mean, there's Jay Marie, who's a psychic medium, and there's plenty of guests that are coming up for the new tea chats. And I am one of those guests on the 23rd of April. There are still tickets available. So they can head to the Belgrove website, and it's $5. So what is that? £3.50. Yeah, about £3. Beat £3.50, depending on the exchange rate at the moment. Depends how long our economy will last, whether it's going to be that in a little while. But at the moment, the pound's doing all right against the dollar. So that's going to be a nice online tea chat thing. So if anyone's interested in having a chat and learning about Belgrove and just having a good paranormal natter, then I definitely recommend grabbing a spot on the Zoom for that. Anybody in the chat room that's in there talking at the moment, because I think there's a few people chatting around in the chat room, we will post the links, and we'll basically, anything we're talking about this evening, anything that requires a link to click on, we'll post all those so you can get those. So, as we went back, working all hours under the sun, so you've got Clothing Line, Which Works, Sage USA, Tea Time Talk. That's not enough for you, is it? No. So, on top of that, which happens every year, obviously the thing that I look forward to every year, and I've been there from day one, and that's Sage Paracon 5, the fans' favourites. I can't wait. I am so excited. It is worth mentioning that a lot of people haven't seen much going on the Sage Paracon pages and things at the moment. And that literally is only because I've been focusing on the merchandise lines and that sort of thing coming out next week. But in the next couple of weeks, you will start seeing more interviews, obviously, that you guys are doing with all the Sage Paracon guest speakers.
There's going to be loads of other things happening with the stalls that we're going to start advertising. We've got just so much going on at the Paracon this year. As you know, for the last couple of years, we've done a medieval banquet. But this year we're changing it up. We're doing a VIP dinner that is all sort of a Prohibition speakeasy. So we've got tailored entertainment for our dinner. It's the 3-course meal. We've got the Paranormal Investigation, which I'm so excited that it takes place on the 5th of November.
And at Coombe Abbey, which is tied into the gunpowder plot. Yeah.
That's, where it was Princess Elizabeth at the time was living at Coombe Abbey. It's her childhood home. That's largely where a lot of the whole plot went down. So it's really, really cool that we're investigating the location on the 5th of November. It is sort of surrounding Guy Fawkes Night and focusing on all of that. It's something a bit different, ties into the history. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, we've got the 2 days of lectures. And
Yeah. And obviously, we call it the fans' favourite because you basically, which is brilliant, is every year you ask people, be completely honest, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see? What can I improve on? You take that information, you then always learn from it, and you then improve the event every single year. Fans' favourite, just run through the list of the amazing speakers that we've got this year.
Well, to start, I don't even know if I had to pick a favourite from all of these speakers. It would be really, really tough because each and every one of our speakers, like you say, fan favourites. I've asked all of the attendees year in and year out who their favourite speakers were, who they wanted to see more of, and largely who my most requested speakers were from people emailing in after the event or on Facebook and that sort of thing. And I can't choose a favourite. I absolutely cannot. But to run through some of them, we've got Jeff Belanger, who is the writer and researcher.
Yay!
Jeff was fan favourite from year 1 and 2. Obviously, Greg and Dana Newkirk will be coming back again. And they were our fan favourites from last year. Richard Estep, magnificent author and great investigator.
And wears very good bunny ears.
Yes. But a very big shout out to Richard, who is working on the front lines and all the hospitals and everything at the moment. He is out there putting himself at risk. So a huge thank you to Richard. And our next person, Greg Lawson, who is the paranormal detective. He's also out there on the front lines at the moment. So these guys are still working so hard. But yeah, so we've got Greg Lawson, the paranormal detective. We've got Aaron Sagers, Mr. Paranormal Pop Culture, Frank Sinelli, our very own Dr. Spectre. We've got Russell Edwards, who wrote the book Naming Jack the Ripper. And I'm pretty sure Russell's going to have some very interesting news to share over Sage Paracon. We might get a few Sage Paracon exclusives. Of course, we've got Nikki Folsom coming back from Texas, who is currently having a bit of a dilemma with a woodpecker at her house.
I saw that.
Her updates have been absolutely cracking me up. All being well, we have Mr. Robert Murch from the Talking Board Historical Society coming back. But it is worth mentioning that Murch had some really big surgery at the beginning of this year, and he is at home recovering, and it's going to be a long road to recovery. So, again, wishing him really, really well.
Yeah, big shout out to Robert.
Yeah, if all else fails, if for any reason that Robert Murch can't make it, we will have somebody else representing the Talking Board Historical Society. And then we have the lovely paranormal photographer, Corin Gretton West.
Looking forward to that one. That's something which, when you told me about it, and I was like, okay, and I know the amazing work Corin does. And the photography and what that lady doesn't know about a camera.
Well, exactly, and so many people are using their cameras and things during investigations, and then they catch the slightest light anomaly or whatever the case may be, and everything's a ghost. And this is something that I think is so important is learning just more about not only how to use your cameras and things on investigations and learn how to debunk better, but, you know, some of the really cool spirit photography that was done in the past, you know, the history of it is really, really interesting. And Corinne has some really cool photos and facts and things in her talk, which I know she's frantically working on. But yeah, I am so excited about that.
Yeah. The thing with the lineup, and this is what impresses me. Every year you go, we leave Sage, and it's everybody's just blown away by what that weekend is like, and then you somehow you pull up your britches. You top it, you get it better, you get it whatever. Yes, I'm seeing it from behind the scenes as well. When I'm doing all the audio setup, all that sort of stuff with Alex, and a big shout out to Alex as well. But yeah, I'm just blown away by it, and obviously with the fan favourites, like I was looking through when I was doing some research before I did the interview. And I was just thinking, there's probably not that many conventions in the world that can put that lineup in the same room at the same time.
You know, it's so difficult. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, probably the only one I was going to probably say was probably Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
But they've got literally everybody. In the Paranormal. if Saint Marie blows up, there will be no Paranormal TV.
Hey, don't tempt fate.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, it just fascinates me. You get such a good blend, the vibe, and as you always say, Sage is exclusive. You would not get any type of access to the speakers in the way you do at Sage.
Exactly. It is a very VIP paranormal convention. You know, I love conventions. I love the fact that you can learn so much and you get to see all these amazing people sharing their knowledge, and you can really meet great people at conventions. It's an awesome way to network in the paranormal field. If you're trying to learn more and get to know more and you know, the who's who in the paranormal field, you want to pick their brains and you want to learn from the best. And that's what I did. You know, coming up the field, I attended every paranormal convention that I could absolutely get to all around the world. And I would just soak it all in. And it's literally one of the best places to learn. It's such a fun environment. However, what you find at most paranormal conventions is that you don't really get as much access to the speakers. You don't, I don't know, I needed to do something different. And so people may look at the lineup and think, you know, that is a wonderful lineup, but what they don't take into consideration is we have to fly all of those people over here, first of all. You know, the logistics of everything and having it in such an exclusive setting and that as well. It's known as one of the most exclusive paranormal conventions, and it's taken 5 years of really hard work to get there. So you might look at another convention that's, say, £40-50 to go to with local speakers and things, which is great. That's fantastic because you have local people sharing their knowledge. But when you look at a lineup like this, with these guys that have so many years and so much experience, and it's just phenomenal to be able to have all of them in one place. It's, first of all, a lot of hard work. Every year I look at the lineup and people come up to me and they go, oh my God, this was the best weekend. We don't know how you're going to top it. And I stand there thinking, I don't know how I'm going to bloody top it. So, yeah, it's stressful. You guys put a lot of pressure on me. I think the way, as I've said, the way it gets put on, the way it runs, and what which is largely thanks to you guys as well. I mean, without all of you guys volunteering, the weekend wouldn't go nearly as smoothly as it does. There's no ways I could do it on my own. You know that. You're my right-hand man.
I was going to say something else there, but It's a family show.
For the sake of radio, we'll say right-hand man.
Yeah. On the radio, it's right-hand man. Behind the scenes, it's a more colourful expression we use. But yeah, so tickets are still available.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone wants to know more about the convention and they want to get to know the speakers, they can just go ahead, visit the website at sageparacon.co.uk. There are tickets available. The platinum tickets are almost sold out, and that is obviously the whole shebang. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that also includes, obviously, the VIP party and karaoke and all of that. But there are still gold and silver tickets available, the weekend tickets. And, yeah, I'm excited. We've got a lot going on this year. There's a lot of things that, like you say, every year I take everybody's feedback on board and I try and better the event as a whole. And I think I'm already looking at this year and I'm thinking, how the hell do I top this next year? It's going to be a tough one because I'm literally throwing everything at this year. It's going to have a lot of surprises and a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, anybody that's even just like seen the buzz, seen everybody on social media talking about it, it is worth it. Get over to the website and and that's the 5th to the 8th of November.
Hopefully, all things taken into consideration, it'll be a nice weekend meetup to see so many friends in the paranormal field, you know, people that we investigate with on a regular basis throughout the year that we've not been able to see. So this is going to be one hell of a reunion for everyone as well, and, you know, just a really fun environment. Every single year we're seeing new faces at Sage Paracon, and the Sage tribe is growing, and it's an amazing thing to stand there over the weekend and see all these people catching up in that. And I keep saying to everyone who's listening and anyone who's thinking about coming to Sage Paracon, if you've not been, it is one big family. And if it's your first year, I can guarantee that you will be made to feel welcome and you'll fit right in with the crazy bunch that come to the convention every year. You know, it's not like a clique. It's open to everybody. And if you really love the paranormal, Sage Paracon 5, this particular speaker lineup, if you want to learn as much as you can in one weekend, this is the weekend to do it, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's one of the big key things about any paranormal convention is you've got to be able to learn from it. You've got to be able to take what you see, listen to, take on board, and then that you can then go forward in your own path and use. And I think any convention, but particularly, I know I've seen people say, this is my first time, and then within half an hour somebody's chatting to them at reception or that, because the convention's in Coombe Abbey itself as well. So you're staying there, you're exploring. Yeah, there's so much to do, not just the talks, there's vendors going on, etc. So, and like you said, there's no click, and it's from my point of view, it's a bunch of people that get on so well and have a shared passion. There's no judgment. You're not a crazy ghost hunter or a crazy nut job.
Well, I mean, you are, but we all are. So
yeah,
you
exactly.
have to be a little bit mad to fit in. You know, for instance, a big shout out to some friends of ours who are listening tonight, Melly and Dan. They came to Sage Paracon for the first time last year, and you know, they've over the last year turned out to be some really great friends of ours, not just us, but with the entire Sage tribe. And it just goes to show, you know, they turned up not knowing a single person, and they've just been welcomed into the whole tribe of people, and it broadens your whole network. And sends you on other crazy adventures with people in the paranormal field. So.
Exactly. But something else that's happening after Sage Paracon, but is in conjunction with it, is the land tour.
Yes, I do holidays as well. And one of the holidays that we are doing this year is Sage Paracon UK tour, which means that whoever's coming on the holiday will start off with the Sage Paracon, and they will then carry on for almost another 10 days after that we're going to be doing private investigations of places like Warwick Castle, Drakelow Tunnels, and a bunch of other things. You know, we're going sightseeing in London and all sorts. That tour is sold out. It is already sold out. We're going to have a bunch of crazy Americans on that tour, and we're going to be driving them around the UK and taking them on all sorts of adventures. But next year, I mean, that is the last holiday, Sage holiday for this year. Obviously, we did New Orleans in February before this chaos.
Yeah, we got out of New Orleans just in time.
Did indeed, yeah. My gosh, they reckon that the coronavirus spread through Mardi Gras, so we're all really, really lucky that we came out of it without it. But yeah, so next year we've got some really cool holidays and things planned. One of them is pretty much already sold out, and that is Nevada. We're doing a paranormal and alien tour from Vegas through Nevada into the desert, into crazy little towns. And yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that one. But yeah, I've got a lot more planned for next year, but we'll keep that for another show.
That's true. Yeah, we'll probably end up talking about that again at some other point. But yeah, Nevada tour, New Orleans. I must admit, from anybody, that was my first experience of a tour that you did, that you do. And the thing that I enjoyed so much about it was, one, the location. I'd never been to New Orleans. The activities that you plan, because not only do you plan to the smallest detail for Sage Paracon and all your other events, but the tour, you do that as well. You see the group, you know who's going, and then you tailor what they're going to be doing to the group.
Yep. We did some crazy things. I think one of the funnest things that we did on the New Orleans tour was making our own voodoo dolls. That was so much fun. It was so interesting to learn about them and how to make an actual voodoo doll. So anyone listening, careful now. I know how to make them now. I'm going to make one of myself and just give it a back rub every now and again. Shower it with champagne.
Absolutely. It was like learning how to make it, because I just thought it was a bit of stick, bit of this, but there's so much detail that goes into making a doll. Oh, and I was blown away by it, and then you put things in it, and you get this special kind of mossy type thing, and it's just crazy. But yeah, it was such a good thing. But we'll talk about that again. So most people now would probably be flat on their back and they'd be knackered. But no, you keep going on. You keep planning stuff. Obviously, the investigations with Sage Paranormal, the investigation side of it is very busy for you as well. Yeah. And there's been some investigations at Drakelow. And obviously, as we said at the start of the show, due to what's been going on in the world, the events have been moved. Is that correct?
Yes. So there were a couple of investigations that we had planned at Drakelow Tunnels. Everything else has already been moved. I am just waiting for the 2 new dates for anyone that was going to join us at Drakelow that's listening. We are moving those to different dates. We are literally just waiting. The moment I have the new dates that everybody can do, I will send that all out by email to all of you guys. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other locations that we're going to be adding next year. Obviously, there were so many things that I've been planning behind the scenes for this year. All of it's now had to be moved to next year. A little bit chaotic, but we're getting there. You will get your emails. We'll move it across. There will be more investigations next year. There's so many things that we've had to cancel this year. So many. So unfortunate, but
yeah. But you know, like you say, obviously Drakelow is the main one that's going to be moved, because obviously they were sold and planned before the lockdown.
Yeah.
Just going about Drakelow.
Yes.
It's something that I've sort of been sitting here over 39 days or whatever number of days we're on at the moment. It's all blended into one. Do you think when the lockdown gets eased and we get out to investigate again, what do you think is going to happen when we open that blast door at Drakelow?
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. Because, you know, they're probably so used to having people there every week. You know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you have people investigating those locations. And to go back to that after such a long break, I'm so intrigued. I think it'll be really active.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like the world at the moment. It's obviously the water in Venice. It's now crystal clear. Dolphins are going up and down the canals in Venice. There's the crazy thing I saw on social media of deer running through a town in Scotland.
Yeah.
There's no planes in the sky.
So many people have also said that during this whole situation, people are experiencing a lot more paranormal activity, and especially in their homes and things. And I've had so many people who have messaged me saying that, you know, they've witnessed full-bodied apparitions in their house and that sort of thing, which I did. Just about had a damn heart attack at 3:30 in the morning when I saw a figure stood in front of my living room door through the glass, and it was absolutely nuts. But it seems to be happening more often all over the world. Everybody's experiencing way more activity and way more poltergeist activity type things. And I don't know if it's because we are in such uncertain times at the moment, and you've got to think that everybody's guides and everybody's family who are on that side are all trying to make sure that you're okay, trying to be there for you. You know, during a time of crisis, I think we're going to have so many more of our family members and loved ones on that side around us way more often.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just because we're at home all the time now. So maybe that activity was there all along, but, you know, you've never really noticed it because you've always been out or at work or whatever the case is. Or
these different locations that we've been investigating time and time again, they're coming out to try and find where we've gone. Where have they gone?
Well, I really hope no one from Drakelow is coming to my house.
Yeah. If they do, don't send them my way.
Yeah, please.
No, I don't really fancy that kind of activity in my house. I must admit, you say about more activity in the house. In the last probably last week and a bit, we've been hearing somebody walking across the living room above us. And that's kind of weird because I know this house like the back of my hand. I know the sounds it makes at now. I know when it's cooling down. I know when it's next door running up the stairs or closing the stairs. Yeah, and I know what it sounds like when somebody walks across above me.
Yeah.
And we had that happen. We've had it happen a couple of times. So you possibly are right. There's more people, more guides. Your family coming.
You know, I'm just looking at the chat room now, and Wes from Canada. Hello, Wes. Wes has just said that I also think the increase in activity is due to the high emotional state of people right now, which is exactly it. You know, there's another side of looking at this, is if they are feeding off energy as well, and everyone's really stressed out, and everyone's really emotional, and, you know, everybody's just peaked. Your stress levels, your anxiety, some people are really suffering with depression and that sort of thing. And it could also be that because you're so worked up and in such a high emotional state that you are having more activity. Absolutely agree with that.
Totally. And thanks everybody that's in the chat room at the moment. I do apologise again about the fun and games we had at the start of the show. It's just one of those things. Obviously, it's a new studio. We've been testing it for the last 3 days, and the Gremlins came out to say hello just as we went live. So I do apologise, and I hope it hasn't spoiled anybody's evening about that little hiccup for 5 minutes. But we're back. PSH Radio is now back every Thursday, and we're talking to the amazing MJ at the moment. We've gone through everything that you've been working behind the scenes.
Yes.
Which, as I keep saying, would probably put somebody on their back for weeks to go through all this. But on top of all this, you're also speaking at other people's conventions.
Yes, I am.
And you've got the biggest, which is...
Thanks for the reminder.
Well, it is the biggest convention in the world.
Yes.
Michigan Paracon in August.
Michigan Paracon in Sault Ste. Marie. Brad and Timonen that host Michigan Paracon, their lineup is beyond amazing. They literally have the who's who of the paranormal worldwide at their events. They have so many speakers. I can't even begin to tell you how many speakers are there. And this year, I am super excited to be one of the speakers. But to be honest, I'm absolutely bricking it, because I have to give a talk in front of, 1,500 people? 1,500 people? Oh, my goodness me. I can't even think about it. Honestly, it makes me so nervous.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll just hand you a very large drink before you hit the stage.
Yeah, I'm going to need several. Are you kidding?
But yeah, no, I was looking at the lineup, and I tried to count the speakers. I lost count at about 45.
Hold on. I'm going to try and bring up the Michigan poster in front of me right now. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to bring up this poster and just rattle off a few of the names at Michigan Paracon. But if anyone's interested, you can go to www.myparacon, that's miparacon.com. We'll stick that in the chat room as well.
Yeah, and that's August the 27th to the 29th as well.
Of August, yes, that's in August. So, Michigan Paracon. We have, oh my goodness, Jason Hawes, Steve Gonzalez, Amy Bruni, Chip Coffey, Adam Berry, Cindy Kaza, Shane Pittman, John Zaffis, Dacre Stoker, Nick Redfern, Greg Newkirk, Dana Newkirk, Dustin Parry. I could go on and on and on. There's so many, so many speakers. And I feel like I'm the rookie of this group. You know, even though I've been in the paranormal industry for 12 years now, speaking at events and that sort of thing, I still feel like I am the absolute baby, like the rookie of this whole group of speakers. So to be on the same lineup as all of them and to stand up there on a stage in front of over 1,000 people, I literally don't know what I'm going to do. I am bricking it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be working on that presentation for months.
What sort of slot time do you get? How long do you speak for?
Well, I've been told to do a 45-minute lecture and leave some time for Q&A and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm going to be focusing on what it's like to investigate in the UK compared to the States, and sort of the locations, my favourite locations that I investigate all the time in the UK, and some really cool things that has come about from our investigating. You know, things that with Warwick Castle, for instance, the investigations that we did, where we had certain names of servants and that sort of thing come through. But then 2 years later, Warwick Castle finding these wax-sealed documents written by Anne, the 4th Countess of Warwick, that were transcripts of the seances that they held at Warwick Castle with Aleister Crowley, and to find that we had the same names and the same information come through as they did in 1890, you know, absolutely mental. So I'm going to be talking about some of the really cool things that tie in with English history and that sort of thing, and what it's like being an investigator over here in the UK compared to the States, and just how my journey from growing up, being born in Zimbabwe and raised between South Africa and Greece and all over the show, how I ended up in England and why I stayed here investigating, you know. Yeah, it's kind of the angle I'm going for with the talk. And I'm hoping people like it.
I'm sure people will. The talk that I've seen of you, they're well put together. They're informative. You learn from them. So I'm pretty sure that the American side of audience, and you will have some friendly UK faces in the crowd as well.
I will indeed. Yes, I have some tribe going, such as yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm tagging along and.
Talking about the Sage Tribe going over to the States, though, one of the events that I am super excited to be speaking at, as always, is Salem Con. Salem is hands down one of my favorite paranormal conventions in the world. Mark is just brilliant. You know, him and his team that put everything together are absolutely fantastic. It's a really well run, really well put together Paracon. Fantastic speakers every year. And next year, I get to be one of the speakers. So that's going to be super fun. The only thing that I'm worried about, it is literally like the Sage Tribe takeover, because we have so many people from England flying over to Salem for Salem Con. We're doing a whole big trip out of it. I absolutely cannot. I'm so overwhelmed by how many people are flying over to support me doing the talk and to also, you know, support the event and Mark and his team. Yeah,
and that's the 23rd and 24th of April 2021.
Yes, at the hotel, which is just the most beautiful hotel as well. It's gorgeous.
I must admit, last year, my first time there, blown away by the hotel, blown away by the convention itself. They always said Salem starts the convention season, Sage finishes the convention season.
Yep.
And Mark and his team, they are amazing. They put so much hard work into it. And they have great speakers. I describe it has the same sort of vibe and feeling that Sage does.
It does. It really, really does. You know, it's always a great reunion, but everybody's always so open to welcoming new people, and I'm excited to have the Sage Tribe there because I always travel to the States, and because I'm always doing talks and things over there, and I've been to Salem Con for a few years running every year, and it's so nice. It's kind of like my UK Sage Tribe meeting the US Sage Tribe, so I am super excited. But I think there's only about 3 or 4 VIP tickets left.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's gone really quickly. So just to touch on my Paracon again, if anyone's interested in going to Sault Ste. Marie in Upper Michigan, you can get tickets at miparacon.com. And for Salem Con, if you want to join us for that in April, you can head over to mghparanormal.com. I believe that.
That's it, yeah. And
Paranormal.
Not to jump on the Salem bandwagon, the party is sponsored by myself and Sage Paranormal as well. So because how they did my birthday, and they made me feel I was the token Brit. This year I won't be the token, because I think half of the UK's going to it next year. But I was the token Brit. They sung me happy birthday. They made me so welcome. I got to drink bourbon out the sippy cup. It was just brilliant, and anybody that is coming over from the UK, part of the Sage Tribe, next year, they're going to love it. From my point of view, for the first time last year, it was amazing. Salem is unbelievable. You hear about Salem on programs, and you won't experience a town like it.
It's Which City.
Which City.
The history and everything, obviously, you know, they are really big on doing their tours and that sort of thing and getting the history out there. But as a town, it's a really quaint town. It's got so many witchy shops and things. It's all these psychic shops and things. I love it. I absolutely love it. If you love all things witchy and paranormal, Salem is just incredible. Yeah. It is an awesome, awesome town.
It is.
Sightseeing. I mean, I was like a kid in the candy store because I ended up going to, I think it's called Ocean Drive, where the house from Hocus Pocus is on the drive, and seeing the Hocus Pocus house and where they filmed some of it, going to the town hall, and I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah. The place I enjoyed where we went to was going to see the Witch House.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that place just blew me away.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere you turn, there's a building, and you just think, okay, that looks great. And then you realise that's what happened in there. That's what happened there. And the only advice...
Feel that as well.
Yeah. The only advice I will tell anybody from the UK that is going over next year, bring warm clothes.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably something I didn't expect to...
It's still real cold in April.
Yeah, and when I got off the plane and we waited for our lift from the airport from Boston, I couldn't believe how cold it was, and because it's literally Salem is right on the sea.
Pretty much, yeah. And for anyone that's listening that thinks, hey, actually, I quite fancy a trip to Salem, just to put it in perspective for you, you can get a round-trip direct flight from London to Boston for probably around 250 quid return, provided you're taking only hand luggage, which was probably all you're going to need, really, if you're only going for a few days. So £250 return for your flight to Boston, and it's about maybe $20, $25 for an Uber from Boston to the Hawthorne Hotel. So you can get away with going to Salem on quite a small budget.
Mm-hmm.
If you're worried about the fact that it's, in the States. It's actually really reasonably priced. So if you've ever wanted to do a trip to Salem, I highly recommend come and join us. Salem April.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, we're going to post all the links in to the chat room, and afterwards we're going to be posting and advertising the various different stuff that we've talked about. It's coming up for that time, MJ. It has. That hour has flown by. I want to personally thank you for coming on. Thank you for the ongoing support that you've given myself and Sam on PSH Radio. And it's good. When we said we were coming back, I said to Sam, I said, there's only one person I want as the first guest, and that had to be you, because of the work you do, because of the support you've given myself and Sam since we've been off air and when we were on air, and the opportunities you've given us. So that's the reason. So personally, I want to thank you for coming on.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me on the show, Cole. And you guys know, you are my official broadcasters for Sage Paracon, and you guys are such good friends of mine, and I wish you all the best with all of your future shows. I know you've got some incredible shows lined up. Can't wait to listen to all of them. And yeah, guys, keep tuning in.
Yeah,
every video awesome.
No problem. Thanks a lot, MJ. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon.
Good night, guys.
Good night. That was obviously MJ Dickson, an amazing guest, a great friend, and like I said, I can't believe how much work she does behind the scenes. Like I said, most people would be on their flat back after just doing 50 lines of clothing range. That's going to be out on Monday. We'll post a link on that. I want to put out a quick personal message as well. I want to thank everybody that has sent us messages, both to myself and to Sam and to the radio pages on social media, giving us the support, saying we hope you're going to be coming back soon, etc., etc. So I think I covered it a little bit at the start, but I just want to put this out there. Thank you very much. The support has blown me away, and it does take me to get a little bit choked up occasionally, so that's kind of support, and I hope you're liking the new format. I hope you like the new music, and thank you to Alex and Corinne for sorting that out for us. The vibe of it is very, very good. It's your show. If you've got any comments, get interactive. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. So send us an email, send us anything via the social media. Get in touch with us. It's been a pleasure, and I'm really chuffed that the first show is in the bag. I'm chuffed that we're back on air, and it's just been a pleasure to talk to MJ. And now I'm going to pass you back over to Sam, who's going to close the show. And I will see you next Thursday. Good night.